How's it going? A little bit anxious. Just gonna try to have some fun tonight. Not worry about the funds or anything. Just try to relax. I haven't been playing games that have been pissing me off lately. That's been helping. I haven't been playing anything frustrating. There's probably some people out there that like to watch me maul, but I feel better not playing stuff that has a high chance of getting me pissed off. That's why I didn't reinstall Stranger of Paradise for that reason. That game was so frustrating to play. It doesn't seem like the patch made it much better. People said the performance got a little bit better. It would have to get a lot better for me to reinstall that game. I already did everything in the game anyway. All that's left is just grinding. If it's anything like Neo, all that stuff will get power creep when the first DLC comes out, so that's even more reason to not play that game anymore. It's pretty much every DLC of the Neo games, both games 1 and 2. Huge power creep. Nice hitboxes. You're like, no, you're not getting 2 million today. Sorry. What a troll. That's alright. I got the max reward. He gave me some pretty garbage luck there. Alright, let's go do the victory run now. Always do the hard one first, because then the other one's guaranteed.
Ready. Fight.
You guys hear about the Red Ranger drama today? Austin St. John got arrested, apparently. Pretty crazy stuff. Apparently his trial is soon. Reading up about that today. Pretty crazy stuff. Like it's on the U.S. government Justice Department's website, so it's not like it's some clickbait or anything. You can legit see his name on there. They have him on there as the original Red Ranger, which is like hilarious. But yeah, you can go on justice.gov and you can see what he's in trouble for. Yeah, he's in pretty hot water. They're saying he could get 20 years in prison. He'd be the third Red Ranger to be in trouble with the law, if it's true. It seems like it's all but confirmed to be true, but if it is, he would be the third Red Ranger to be in trouble with the law. Austin St. John, I guess there was like some kind of COVID protection thing for small businesses, and he has that site where he sells like those bobbleheads or whatever for like $200 each. Apparently, they got a loan, and they didn't use it for their business. All the people, I guess they used it for parties or whatever. I don't know. They said non-business expenses, which could be anything. Most likely parties. You can find it on the justice.gov website, so it's very real. I think the trial is like next month. Yeah, we just had another Red Ranger get in trouble with the law a couple years ago. Actually, two of them. Two of them did. Pua Magasiva and then Ricardo Medina. The Ricardo Medina one is really, really complex. He's out of jail as far as I know, but his career is over. I'm never gonna see him in anything again. That's the Wild Force Red Ranger, by the way. He was in jail. Oh, that's right, there's also the other one, too. The Blue Time Force Ranger is under hot water for, I guess, bad things he did at cons. Big yikes. Big yikes in the Power Rangers fandom right now. The Blue Time Force Ranger thing was just like last week, like 2 weeks ago, earlier this month. Also, Enway is making another mobile game for Power Rangers, but it's a fucking turn-based one, so can't believe how how deflated my hype was. I'm like, dude, I would be so down for a Power Rangers beat 'em up, something like PGR. I would be so down for that. I really think that they could pull it off, but nope, it's just the 8 billionth turn-based mobile RPG. It doesn't look like it has anything unique about it at all, besides just Power Rangers license. It looks super generic. I wish them luck. That's a really hard market to cut into. If they had tried to make like an action game with it, I think they'd have like more of a chance, but there's so many games like that. There's like thousands of them. No shortage of ones from like big franchises too. That's the thing. Weird choice. They already have like Legacy Wars, which is like this weird mobile fighting game that has rollback netcode for some reason. They already have that, and they have Battle for the Grid. I don't see it lasting very long. Apparently, Enway had a WWE game that was basically like a Legacy Wars reskin, but with pro wrestlers, and like hasn't been doing well. So I don't know, man. I don't have a lot of faith in that game lasting long. The roster looked nice from what I saw. They had some underdog characters in the roster, but not going to be enough. They had like Lothar in there and stuff. I guess the good thing is it means that there will be more grid content. They wouldn't crap out another mobile game if they were losing the license. So Grid should get at least one more year support, one more season. I'm just curious who they're going to add, because I think they have so many awesome choices. And I really like what they've done with the roster so far. It's not just MMPR pandering, which is a big problem with Power Rangers, by the way. It's awful how much they pander to those 3 seasons. They pander to it so much. I'd say like more than half of the merchandise they make for Power Rangers is all from the first show. And it gets old. Like, there's so much better stuff that came after that. As someone who watched it growing up, like, it gets no love at all. That's what I really like about Battle for the Grid, is they have a really well balanced roster of, like, of course they have like Jason and Tommy and stuff, but they have like a lot of other characters from later seasons that aren't as popular. And I think that game is one of the best like crossover game rosters. Dragon Ball kind of has this, fighters kind of has the same problem too. The nostalgia pandering, like 8 different versions of Goku. They added some really cool characters like Janemba and like Cooler and stuff, and Master Roshi, but we still have like huge chunk of the cast is Goku, Vegeta, or both. So I'm guessing with that, I think it's called like Morphin Masters or something, Morphin Legacy or something. Uh, there should be at least one more Power Rangers season, Grid season. I have a lot of really big requests, but I'm curious what they're gonna do. So I think they have some really cool. We'll go over that right now. Take a brief intermission. I've talked about this before, but go to the Power Rangers wiki. I think they have some awesome characters they could add, especially ones that didn't do much in the show. Is the wiki gonna load? Hold on. Alright, the wiki's not loading. Alright, never mind. Never mind. The wiki's not loading. Oh, now here goes. Okay. I think the coolest thing they could add, it has a pretty high chance, would be Ryan. He's like a cool character, but he has I don't know what the word for it would be. I guess you could call it filler episode, filler arc syndrome. um, this costume is based on Turbo Ranger from like the 80s. Yeah, he's not in any of the Sentai footage. The Sentai of this season, Go-Go 5, did not have a 6 Ranger. And, 6 Rangers print money, so they made their own, but when almost all your fight scenes are taken from some show in Japan, it's a problem to add anything resembling a new character. So he had this like plot device. Every time he transformed, he had this Cobra's curse, and if it went all the way up to the top of his body, he would die. So that's how they, they would make him fight sometimes, but he couldn't really be in any of the footage. I think it would be really cool if they added him. Uh, like they have a pretty clean slate on what they could do. Oh, yeah, here you go. Due to him having no Sentai counterpart, Ryan appeared in very few episodes. Most of his scenes showed him unmorphed and looking for a way to stop the demons. Also did not have the budget to use both Sentai footage of the main 5 Rangers as well as new footage of the 6 Rangers. Oh yeah, I remember this too. Oh yeah, I think it would be really cool if they added him. I think he has a pretty high chance, honestly, because there's no Lightspeed rescue characters in Grid at all. A lot of the other seasons, they have like a decent chunk of the seasons have like at least one character. I actually think he has a really high chance. Uh, Fan pick for me would be it'd be him. But the problem with him is they already have 2 SPD characters, so he's unlikely to make it. But he was a shit character. they they didn't want to. They told him that they couldn't have another Ranger actor, like an actual face actor. So they just made him a literal ball of light, cheap CGI, and they would just have him teleport in when they wanted to use the Sentai footage. But he has a really sick fighting style. I think it would be awesome to see him in a fighting game, but uh, pretty much no chance. They already have too many reps from this season. He would be my next big ad that I would want, but extremely unlikely. I would be shocked if it happened. I think they would like to do it, but uh, I don't know. They have a lot of unpopular characters in there, but he's literally not even a character. He's just like it's just some guy dubbing over a ball of light. It's probably the worst thing about that season. Disney cheaped out and didn't let them make him an actual character. So he just doesn't do anything. He has no personality. Shuri Kenjer, I would definitely take. I think he has a pretty high chance because there's no representatives. I think it would be really cool if they put him in. Let's see. There's like 3 characters per season, so I'll pick like one more and then we'll go back and play some more games. Uh, a Dino Charge rep is probably pretty likely because it's a very popular season. But I didn't watch the Power Rangers version of this. I watched the Sentai. I think coolest would be him, just based off the Sentai version. He had a really cool fighting style. But I don't know. They have a villain from Dino Charge. They have Candelira in there, so. Or Kyoryu Gold would be pretty sick too. I'd definitely take him as well. There you go. Let's go back to games. Interesting to see what they do. There's going to be at least one more season. I don't know. I don't see that mobile game doing very well though. seems like reaching to me. That game to do very well. That's like the biggest amount of competition a turn-based mobile game, mobile gacha. Like, there's thousands of those. I guess it doesn't cost anything to make, but I don't see it lasting long.
Today, 今日はいかがなさいますか。またいつでもどうぞ。
なあ、いらっしゃい。またのお越しを。
播磨の反乱を鎮めた信長は西国の攻略を再び秀吉に委ねて自身は京へと帰還していた。しかし毛利の勢いは衰えず西国の戦線
一丁手柄を立ててくるか。
主の手駒となりましょう。
高松城は辺り一帯沼地みたいだ。正面突破は難しいだろうな。
では俺をあの高台へ。策を練るためまずは地形を把握します。
主とか勝利のためにどちらも守り抜く。
この高松城、何人たりとも奪わせはせぬ。
半兵衛、おいらは勝つ。必ずな。よし、取ったぞ勘兵衛。ここに本陣を置くから、お前は策を練ってくれ。
見通せました。こたびは水系が適当かと。近隣の河川を氾濫させ城を沈めましょう。
敵を城から引きずり出そうってわけだな。よっしゃ、準備を進めるか。
高台を奪いよ。行け皆の者、必ずやあの地を奪い返せ。開門。
織田のやつら妙な動きをしておる。行け、やつらの企みを阻止せよ。開門。
水系をなすには城の周囲に堤防を築きせき止めた河川の水を注ぐ必要があります。手間はかかりますがこたびはこれが上策かと。
お主、わしの手柄となれ。
策をなすためには河川のせき止めが肝要。いや、こうも敵が多くては進軍もままならない。
敵将仕留め。
意地は見せたわ。もうよかろう。
手柄はもらった。
策の妨害はさせない。貴様らの行動は全て計算のうちだ。
敵が多くてこの ままじゃ先に進めねえ。策のために堤防を作んなきゃなってのに。
敗走。
工作兵がやられちまった。ならもう一度来てもらうしかねえな。
敗走。
やれやれ、油断も隙もねえやつらだ。放っておいたらどうなっていたことか。
この辺りが適している。では河川のせき止めに着手しろ。
貴様らここで何をしている。勝手な真似は許さんぞ。
敵の妨害も俺の前では無意味だ。準備ももう間もなく完了するか。こちらの準備は完了だ。合図が出次第即座に河川をせき止める。
鉄砲隊、織田の手勢を仕留めよ。何人たりとも高松城に近づけはせぬぞ。
鉄砲隊とは厄介な。城に近づくには
What do you mean it's
やは
tricky?
り正攻法では難しいようだ。
What?
ここいらの敵はあらかた片付いたな。先へ進むぞ。開門。
織田のやつら何をこそこそと。到底捨ておけぬわ。皆出るぞ。
オイラが討ち取った。
意地は見せたわ。もうよかろう。
さすがのご活躍です秀吉様。
これ式のやつらオイラの敵じゃねえ。さて堤防の様子はどうかな。よっしゃ、堤防完成だ。あとは官兵衛のせき止めがうまくいけば。
水系の準備万事完了だ。水流に飲まれない。
Yes, it's much better on easy mode. Problem is, I should not need to do this. They should not tech out of hits. It's done like in the middle of an animation and hit me out of it. That shit game design. But this fixes it. It legit fixes the problem, so that's whatever. It's not something I should have to do. Here we are. Pretty obvious they don't play their own game.
勝利をつかむまでどうか油断なきを。
高松城が水没しただって。 皆急ぎ友軍の援護に当たれ。
勝利条件変更。
こんにゃろめ。生きて毛利の増援か。想定より多いが切り抜けるほかねえ。
川が氾濫した。水が城まで入ってくる。逃げろ。
この水はまさか織田の仕業か。高松城は捨てるほかあるまい。
反乱により浅瀬になった箇所がありますね。おそらく敵の増援が通るでしょう。ご注意を。
半兵衛様、怪しい奴を捕らえました。このような密書を所持しているのです。
これは密書。一体どのような。急ぎ秀吉様にお伝えせねば。
だいぶ毛利を打ち払えたな。勢いが弱まるといいが。
官兵衛様より伝令です。急ぎこちらの書簡をお目通しください。
Nothing in this game is a challenge. This game is very easy to break.
くそ。
Uh,
なんだってこんな。
the amount of power you can get, especially if you're using this weapon I'm using right now,
急いでここを片付けて。
it destroys the hardest difficulty. That's the thing. Like, this is legit making the game playable for me. The hardest difficulty, they tech out of like everything, and it has nothing to do. Yes, I am a style player.
激しく攻め立てろ。
I don't expect everyone to be bothered with it, but at the same time, if I do this attack, if I do that attack on the hard difficulty, they're already on the ground before I can even land. So they hit you out of it. Like, I can't describe how crappy it feels.
と共に織田を殲滅してくれるわ。織田の後輩をついてやろう。者ども行くぞ。
おいらこそ天下無双の秀吉様で。
I know gamers like to meme about game devs like not actually playing their own games, which is not really possible. They have to play their games to make them. Making games is hard, but it says a lot when they knew that it was a problem, because on easy mode they don't tech out barely at all. They do still tech out, but like, I don't want them to just be combo bags. I want the moves to actually work. This moveset I'm using right now, it's like unusable on the hardest difficulty. It legit does not function. They put a moveset completely focused on aerial combat in a game where the hit stun is like non-existent. So you're up in the air, you're flailing around. They're already on the ground and hitting you. They only patched this game like twice, and they didn't fix that problem. But they've always had a hard time balancing that. Dynasty Warriors 9 was the same. They had like this like hidden infinite prevention system in the base version of 9. The problem with it was you don't have that many moves, and the officers have a lot of health, so there weren't really any other options to use. It's not like there was this massive like DMC Bayonetta-sized moveset to use to, like, encourage you to have more variety in your combat. You only have a couple moves, so they would tech out, and the way that they would tech out was really annoying, because they would keep doing their tech animation until they landed. They're completely invincible. So what they did is they just took it out completely, so you could just combo them forever, which isn't a good solution either. I feel like that kind of thing only works when the player character actually has options to, like, have more variety. When you're only rolling with like a couple moves, it just doesn't work. Case in point, the final difficulty of Dynasty Warriors 9. I can't imagine doing that with the way that the officers teching out worked before. He would legit, like, it would take like 20 minutes to kill one officer. I really don't know what they were going for. I don't quite get what they were trying to do, but it makes the game a lot less fun to play. And a lot of the moves are, like, legit useless. So, I don't know. It's best to try not to think about it too much. It's something that everybody hates about this game, too. Everybody hates it, not just tryhards like me. A lot of people despise it. If they do an expansion for this, I'm sure that they will fix it. I would be shocked if they didn't. It's just like, it doesn't really need to be in the game in the first place. There's a lot of moves in this game that legit don't work the way the game is right now. You get this long animation of putting them in the air, and it looks like it's supposed to have some kind of impact, but the guy just walks through it. No, I think it's worse. There were a lot of non-functional movesets back then too, but if you hit someone, they staggered. This game, it's like the animation doesn't even work properly. Yeah, this game is like that. You have this big, like, flashy-looking move that knocks them into the air. They're already on the ground. They're already on the ground before the animation ends. You have, like, any control or agency over your character.
信康の真意を確かめるまで引くわけにはいかないわね。
セナ、そうだな、私も同じ気持ちだ。しかしこうなった以上助ける道は。この窮地に私は何をすべきなのか。数正さえ追い払えば、タダヨは我らに味方してくれよ。迷いは晴れた。家康様の信じる道を支え、信康様の過ちを正さなくては。
織田殿は裏切りを許さねえようか。徳川の命運は始末のつけ方次第。
始末。
I don't know, my take on Ieyasu is I like his design. He's not a boring-ass character to play anymore. The problem is that people want them to age up the characters, and it's like, they're never going to be able to pull that off properly. People keep asking for it over and over and over. It's like, you know, realistically they could age up like a couple characters, right? There's still going to be characters looking like they just got out of college when they're supposed to be like 70. It's just like, it's an insurmountable task. They're not gonna do it. I think the fact that they only age up some of them makes the problem worse, in my opinion. These games already gloss over how much time, like, actually passes anyway. The game makes it feel like it's been like a couple months, but it's been like 30 years or something. It's something that people want, they don't realize the logistics of doing it. And for it to make any kind of sense at all, they would have to do it for every single character. With the exception of ones that, like, historically died really early on. Like, they weren't really active for that long, they were killed in battle or something, or they were sick. It's one of those things that sounds great on paper, but there's just no way they could really pull it off. The Nobunaga in this game is okay, I think. He looks dumb when he's older. He looks almost exactly like the old version. They should have tried to not play it so safe with his design, which is weird. Which is weird because they didn't play it safe with Mitsuhide's design at all. He doesn't look anything like the previous one. Pre-reboot one. He looks completely different. But with Nobunaga, they played it way too safe. He looks almost exactly the same. He kind of felt like a cosplayer to me when I first played this game. Like, it's okay to not give him the same evil mustache twirling look. Like, you could do, like, more... Make him look a little bit more distinct from the... you know, the original one. But nope, he ends up looking exactly the same. I don't know, he just turns into a generic mustache-twirling villain. And to make it worse, he looks exactly like the original series Nobunaga. It wasn't really convincing to me. Which is weird, because they really got They really got experimental with how older Mitsuhide looks.
動かぬがゆえに多大な犠牲を払うはず
Like he's graying and he looks like visibly older, but he doesn't look like
引き上げるぞ
they just put a gray wig on the OG Mitsuhide. He actually looks quite a bit different. I guess they consider Nobunaga to be a much more iconic character. They were like scared to really make him stand out more.
武田の意を借りて徳川を織田を脅かさんと企ていわば勝頼は巻き込まれただけ信康こそが全ての元凶ってことじゃありませんか
I like most of the redesigns in this. I think the redesign and the changed art style are like things I really like about this game, even if the gameplay is a jank mess.
たやすく三河を取れるはずが
It's just a shame they put all their effort into that and they
話が違う
have so few movesets in the game and
敗れたか
most of them aren't even fun to
どうや
use.
らこたびの挙兵は
There's too many characters for too few movesets.
このまま逃げ帰るようでは武田の名が地に落ちよう我らだけでも意地を見せよう
But yeah, a lot of people want the characters to age and they don't realize how much of a nightmare that would be for them to actually do. I've been in the community a long time, like over 20 years, so I've seen it be asked for countless times. They tried that with Spirit of Sanada and it was fucking awkward
ようやく信康が出てきたな
because Yukimura aged up
どうする
like
かはあんた次第
a realistic, believable amount. But then Kunoichi is right next to him and she still looks like she just graduated high school. That's the eternal problem with them trying to age up people.
ここは私が
It's just like they don't have the resources to pull it off. It's always going to be awkward. It would be better to have no one age up at all.
全ては私の未熟
Spirit of Sanada is a perfect example. They only really aged up like 2 characters.
すぐなりましょう
And like I said, these games always really... Musou, well, Dynasty and Samurai at least, they greatly underestimate how much, or underemphasize how much time has actually passed. The Spirit of Sanada had that problem. It's like, okay, well, obviously, like, legit, like, 30 years have passed or whatever since the beginning of the story, but you still have characters looking like they're 19,
これ以外に道はない
and only one person is aged up.
そ
Like,
れで全てが収まるのだ
like, they're not gonna make 2 different character designs for, like, 40 characters. They can't even give everybody a unique moveset anymore, so I think people asking them to age everyone up, like, it's out of the question. It's not something that can happen.
セナ何を言い出すのだそなたもしや全ての罪を一人で
徳川の皆を守りたいなら私を切りなさい
そんな
勝利条件変更敗北条件変更
セナ殿の陰謀とは驚きましたな織田殿には俺から
Yeah, but they're not gonna do that. They're never going to. They have too many characters. This game's supposed to be a hard reset on everything. But they have like 30 characters and like 15 movesets. So
十分で
セナ
the most demoralizing thing is when you unlock
天下無双なのか
a new character in this game and it's just another clone.
さあ私を切るのよ
そんな
切りなさい
そ なたを切るなど私にできるはずがない。
T-pose.
まったくあんたって人はそんな覚悟で当主が務まると思っているの？だけどそんなあんただから一緒にいられて幸せだっ
You
た。
can commit Sudoku.
ありがとう。さようなら。
セナ。
You know, I'm shocked she didn't still have a monologue after like slitting her throat.
若おつらいとは思いますがまずは
おいおいおっさん
Classic
弱い
anime.
切った竹千代によくそんなむごい話が
Like
できるな。
someone dies and they have like 10 minutes to give a monologue about birds and trees and shit.
よろしいです
You
ね
know, they should like have bled out by that point. Or not even had a chance to talk.
この一件の真信康殿が毒我らは
半蔵。
They're subverting anime tropes. I've always said that anime characters could live forever if they got like killed or mortally wounded,
ごめん
and their monologue just goes on forever. Like they could just stay alive.
利光殿
さよう松永のむ
信長と共に武田家を滅ぼした家康は戦の後処理をす京に滞在後、秀吉の援軍に向かうはずの光秀が突如信長のいる本能寺を
若
Young lord. He's supposed to be like
とにも
50 by
かく
now.
もに
信長様が
三河
He hasn't aged a day.
伊賀を
どうする
This is what I'm talking about here.
お前がなんとかしねえと
You know, it works the other way too. Like in these games,
信長様の
we'll have a
返
character
しを告げるのが
be like the old,
同格の
master
名誉たる
archetype.
若の
and like when they first show up, they're supposed to be like 20.
一刻を争います
That happens a lot in these games too. People don't always realize that, but the opposite does happen quite a bit.
この
We'll
ラ
have a character show up and they look 60, but like in history they were like 20 or 30 at that point. It happens a lot less. Generally it's the other way around, but very common. A lot of the older characters were like not actually that old.
「伊賀は忍びの残党やら野党やらの巣窟だ」「気をつけて進まねえと足をすくわれるぜ」
穴山殿が先行して砦を抑えているんです合流を急ぎましょうぞ
ああ、わかった。何としても三河に帰り兄上の小石を次に繋がなくては。
I don't know, a lot of people obsess over the age and like dude, they can't even give everybody a unique moveset. Like
鉄砲を食らわせてやれ
I honestly think none of them should age. Because only doing a couple of them doesn't work either. It's very awkward.
味方が襲われているぞ。助ければ。 私の
Legit creepy in Spirit of Sonnet. I watched the ending of that game.
こうして戦ってくれているこんなところで
It's legit creepy.
みんな一丸となって切り抜けよう
You try to have Kunoichi be his love interest, but she's not aged up. And she like passes for his daughter at that point. It's
ミ
creepy.
ーナリのやつがいるじゃねえか。身ぐるみ剥がしてやれ。何？敵に囲まれたか。
味方を救えたようだ
この先の肘山城は守りが手薄のようです。そこを通れば伊賀を抜ける近道となりますぞ。
伊賀者の罠かもしれません。わしの手番を受けて近道にはなりましょう。
ならばたとえ罠でも進むのみだ
滅殺受けてみよう。
この伊賀を超えようなど少子。覚悟せい。なんだってんだ。邪魔する奴らは残らず倒せ。俺たちの前に現れたのが運の尽きだ。じゃあな。やめろ。討ち死に。
穴山殿がやられたか
開門。
Well, I think they knew he was not a popular character. He's unappealing looking and he had a really slow, boring moveset. I think they just wanted to do the opposite with his design. It got me to play as him. I never liked playing as him before.
私が狙われているようだ
But yeah, having him look so young just makes the age problem a lot worse.
この砦は我らが抑え
They
た。
could have made him like look in his
ここからな
20s.
ら伊賀を脱せよう。
It'd be a little less jarring. But like I said, that problem's always going to be there
が新たな拠点を抑えたようだ
unless they age up literally every
あ
character,
の砦を目指すと
which they're never going to do.
出るぞ。家康を討ち取れ。
ここは私が開門野武士たちを打ち払え
わしの出番だ。あの砦何やら見よう。やはり敵が潜んでおったか。赤を狙う敵は残らず潰しておかねば。
来たな徳川。ここは通さぬ。
I'm sure that's coming next, man.
お待たせするか
They're probably going to reboot Dynasty Warriors. Probably going to reboot Dynasty Warriors soon. Have like Liu Bei grow a mustache and look like visibly older, but then
受けてみよう。
someone else is next to him and they look like they're 20. No time has passed.
この程度では終わるまい。若
The
を
rumor is that they're rebooting Dynasty
目
Warriors.
を光らせて
半蔵らに守られてばかりでは情けない私もさらに奮起しなくては
I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't surprise me if that did happen.
これで憂いは立てた先へ進まねば
俺は武士って連中が大嫌いでな。貴様貴様にのたれ死ね。
わしの出番だ。
桃地。とっくに死んだはずでは。とにかくこの地を死守せねば。
三代やはり生きておったか。奴を倒さねば伊賀を抜けるのは難しかろう。
開門。
よしこれで先へ進める
防ぎきれぬか。
I don't know, they're supposed to be announcing some big games this year. I don't know what the hell they can announce. Honestly, both of their flagship franchises are in a really sad state right now. This game's supposed to be a reboot, but plays pretty much exactly like the PS2 games. This was also always a series that prided itself on not having any clones except for Kunoichi and Nene. And then this game drops and everybody is a clone. Dynasty Warriors 9 is the same problem. I feel like they've caused irreparable damage. I would not be surprised if they announce like a DW10 this year and they just like completely reboot it. Probably weighing the cost ratio of like salvaging 9 when they already have like 100 characters in the game and it makes it logistically impossible to really change anything versus just rebooting it like this game and have like maybe a couple dozen. I would love them to reboot it again and only have like 12 characters or like 20 tops. No clones, not a single clone, and just have like a really revamped deep combat system with a lot of moves and stuff. Less or almost no reliance on the charge attack system, and then just expand upon it. Like turn it into like a service game. Like have like character packs or something. A friend of mine that comes in here, he suggested that. I doubt it's something they would do, but I think it would be a solution to the problem, because they have too many fucking characters. They can't like add anything. I'm not saying a service game, but like expand upon the game with paid DLC packs. And that would allow them to like fund the development of the game. Not have to have like 90 characters in one installment at the start, which is a big part of the problem.
何が終わったって？
確かに三河まではまだ遠かったな。
違うだろ。終わりどころか始まってもいねえって話だ。
やり方次第では天下も夢ではありますまい。
天下？私が？
当主様ならそれくらいの志を持てってことだ。
期待しておりますぞ、若。
荷が重いが、そなたたちの支えがあれば、あるいはな。
三河に着くまでに腹をくくっとけよ。
ともあれ先を急ぎましょう。
ああ、まずは無事に帰ってからだ。
I don't know, 7 had a ton of clones. Also, it told the story in the best way, but the gameplay was really hurt by it. Like, Jiang Wei and Yue Ying come back like 80 times each. Best story, yeah, gameplay definitely suffered quite a bit. Because they didn't have enough unique playable unique officers to, like, tell the end of the story, so Jiang Wei is still rolling up to battle, and he's like 100 at that point. Or would be 100 if he had lived that long. It's like the only real problem with the way that game tells the story, and it's just a complete gameplay issue. Yue Ying also comes back like 80 times too.
攻防を続けていた家康のもとに信長からの使者として桃地三太夫が訪れる。三太夫
信康が武田につく。
そんなの嘘よ。
大変だ。信康。
武田
若、
半蔵。
あの信康殿が若やせんいささか心。
この乱世、私に何ができるのか。
俺を使いこなせよ、竹千代。
Well, the alt history got around the fact that they've been telling the same story for 20 years. It's got Star Wars syndrome. Put the proton torpedoes in the Death Star trench and topple the ATSTs for like the 8 billionth time. Unlike Star Wars, they've tried to add like what-if scenarios and stuff that makes it somewhat more interesting. I honestly feel like the story hasn't been worth watching since 7 came out. Like, they told the story in such a good way, despite gameplay problems like not having enough playable characters in the late era to like really tell it well. They still told it in a good way. I watched every cutscene in that game, and I'm a well-known cutscene skipper. So yeah, the what-if stuff was a nice angle to take it.
そうだな。私も同じ気持ちだ。力を合わせて。
They really have just been telling the exact same story for ages now. Like, the only major thing that changes is a new character gets added and they're not generic anymore. And like, whatever they add to the story, other than that, it's the same damn thing.
信康型の将を倒してしまうか。
No, we need to stop defending the clone characters. This game is a perfect example. This game doesn't even have, like, high-quality movesets. It has a couple that are fun. A lot that don't work because of how much the officers tech out. And some that are just plain boring.
信康め臆して動けぬのか。なら拙者が出て梅雨払いしてやろう。
他の者を止めよ。武田を勢いづかせてはならぬ。ここは私が。
武田にばかり戦わせて信康は失礼ながら悪どい男でございますな。
そのようね。きつくお仕置きしないと。反動はまだ戻らないのかしら。
よっしゃ、砦を落としたぜ。これで武田の増援は止まるはずだ。
岡部の止めることができたか。この勢いで武田勢を押し戻すと。信康と武田勢に連携されては厄介だ。先に信康方の砦を落としてしまえ。信康の真を傷つけるのは不本意だが、この状況ではやむを得まい。信康はまだ動かぬか。少しばかり脅しつけねばならぬようだな。勝頼と動いたか。信康のもとに行かせてはならぬ。開門。砦は抑えたぞ。味方の兵を進めよう。これでどうだ。
我らが勝頼らを足止めしておきましょう。
あくまで信康は動かぬか。ならば攻め方も考え直さねばなるまい。撤収だ。受けてみよ。もしや我らは謀反を起こしたと思われて、だとすれば一大事。申し開きに行かねば。開門。
ようやく信康が出てきたな。家康殿、どうするかはあんた次第だが。
たとえ許しを請うてきても切り捨てる所存。それが当主としての務めと心得ている。
うまく信康を討ち取ったように見せないと桃地に何を言われるかわからないわね。
無念ってあれ、切られてない？
いいから死んだふりしてなさい。
信康は死んだが、これで一件落着とはいかないでしょうな。家康殿。
身内から謀反人を出した以上、私も厚かましく生きながらえるつもりはない。
バカね、それじゃ腹を切らされるじゃない。こうなったら奥の手を使うしかないわね。あんたたち聞きなさい。信康をそそのかしたのはこの私よ。おじさまの仇である信長に従うのはもう限界。まだ信長に従いたいならあんたを撃つ。
お、任せろ。
せな、全ての罪を一人で。いや、この時を稼ぐための。
半蔵が戻るまでこれでごまかし通すわよ。
勝利条件変更。
イエス、本気でかかってきてくれないと桃地に疑われるわよ。ほら、
覚悟せよセナ。この家康が成敗してくれる。
家康と瀬名が殺し合うとは、こりゃ面白いことになってきたぜ。
見えてるぜ。若セナ様、服部半蔵、ただいま戻りましたぞ。
ここは私が。
武田にナイツを誘う信康殿の書状を届けたのはやはり伊賀の忍びでござった。三代全ては貴様の企てであろう。弁解は聞かぬぞ。観念せ。
バレちゃ仕方ねえ。そうだよ、全部俺がやったことだ。
何故そのような卑劣な真似を。許せる。断じて許さぬぞ。
勝利条件変更。
俺を切れるもんならやってみな。者ども、手負いのセナを狙え。
セナは先ほどの戦いで怪我を。セナを守り抜かねば。
Yeah, parts would be
しばら
nice.
く俺の手下どもと遊んで。
The roster's just out of control. You could tell even in spin-off content like Orochi, the roster is just too big. There's like barely any of the characters do anything. Tamamo no Mai is like one of the most important, relevant characters in 3 Ultimate. And then in 4 she does literally nothing. She's just there. They definitely have too many characters for their own good. I really think they could do with trimming the fat so that they can do more of the gameplay. We're probably having that discussion like as we speak.
トンボよりもあっけねえのな。
ここは引くほかあるまい。
桃地が2人。どちらが誠の桃地かわからぬが、とにかく追わねば。
敗北条件変更。
いずれの三太夫の動きが見える。もしや両人とも偽物か。
申し訳ござらぬ。桃地に術をかけられこのような。私は何を。桃地が目の前に現れ、その後は何も覚えておらず。
我が家臣であったか。
Boy, the community took a really big morale hit when that game came out. I remember it all too well.
まんまと引っかかりやがった。
Favorite character's got a spear
俺
now.
は逃げさせてもらうぜ。
Have fun.
桃地逃がすもんですか。
俺が手塩にかけて育てた忍びたちだ。たっぷり相手をしてもらうぞ。
厄介なのを出してきやがって。残念だがこの程度で死ぬ俺じゃねえ。またどこかで会おうぜ。
逃がしたか。とはいえ事なきを得てよかった。
これだけ引っかき回されて事なきですって。まあみんな無事だったし、よしとしますか。
こたびの真相については兄上。よっしゃ。
武田の侵攻を受けながら
何。
そうよ、今回のお手柄は悪事をでも家康も
辛口の瀬名に褒めてもらえるとは。
I don't know, the characters they added to 9, the DLC, I understand what the point of them was. Because the game already has so many clones, and they just added more of them. It's like... I don't understand what they were going for. Like, you're not able to make them unique characters. They look unique, but they play like 5 other people in the game already. So it doesn't matter whether they have relevance in the story, and they're still like half a character because they play the same as everyone else. I don't get what they're trying to do. I mean, I guess you could give them the DLC weapons, but that's not even really a not even really a solution. That's a band-aid on the problem. I didn't really like the new characters they added, especially Zhang Fei's wife. That story is legit disturbing. Expect better from Koei. Like, don't just make her look like she's 12 and Zhang Fei is like clearly 40 bare minimum. That story was really really disturbing. I don't know, the whole Xiao Ji thing was awful. I couldn't watch those cutscenes in good conscience. Like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, is it so bad to make her look like at least 30? So that she's like actually looks like a compatible legal partner for him? She passes for his daughter. It's really, really nasty. And you had to pay for that shit too, like I get it, Japan, you don't want to show people like being old in media, but like just make her look like she's not his daughter. I don't think that's really a ridiculous request. That shit is really disturbing. I couldn't even watch anyone play that story mode. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? This is like the kind of shit clickbait news sites would write about on a slow news day. Let's stop having stories with like love interest for the male characters and then the female love interest passes for their daughter. We got enough of that in the real world already. Like, the Spirit of Sana is the same problem. At the end, when he dies, Kunoichi is by his side. And he's like obviously supposed to be like early mid 40s at that point, and she still looks like a teenager. It's disgusting. Like let's stop doing that, please. Like just make up an NPC that looks age appropriate or something. It's not that hard. They've done that. They've done that a couple times now in the past couple years, and it's just worse every time. Even the game I was just playing, Senna looks way older than Ieyasu does. They have like some kind of cougar and cub thing going on there, I guess. Well, see, those characters, they look similar in age. I'm sure she didn't really exist in history, but they have an age appropriate look to them, their relationship. Maybe like a couple years, but not like 20 years or something crazy like that. They're always really ambiguous about what ages the characters are supposed to be, but that I've never found them to be problematic. They look age appropriate. The whole thing with Zhang Fei's wife is just disgusting. They should I don't know how they got approved to even write that story. What the fuck they're doing, but I don't need to be creeped out playing a Dynasty Warriors game. Thank you very much. Let's see. I guess I'll get the Switch out and play for a little bit. Ugh. I mean, this is a series franchise where Cheng Pu served Wu for like how many years? He served Wu for like literal generations, and they just made him a playable character in the last game. Like, like that dude has deserved to be in the game since the dawn of time, and they just barely put him in like a couple years ago. I think they do it on purpose, to be honest. They know that adding a character like that that's been a generic officer for way too long is a big selling point. It definitely was for 9. There was quite a bit of buzz in community that he was finally playable. I mean, if anyone deserves to be in the game, it's him. Especially because of how long he served his kingdom. Like, there's a lot that they could do with that. For some reason, it took 18 years to put him in the game. They definitely need more late characters. I think that's the biggest problem with Dynasty Warriors, is they like tried to dabble with like adding the late era and like what actually happened, but they don't have enough playable characters. So the end, Dynasty Warrior 7 is a prime example. They don't have enough playable characters, so
いいか。お前が一緒で素直に嬉しいぞ。共に戦い抜こう。
わらわを封印するつもりか。かようなことできると思うてか。愚かしきかな。わらわと争おうなどと。やらなきゃダメなんだ。
やらなきゃダメなんだ。覚悟しな。最強の武を見せてやる。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。天意に背く門胸。裁きを受けよ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。退却退却っと。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。信長を追いやらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。
そちなぞに捕まるわらわではないわ。そこをのけ。
やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。
あんた相手じゃ調子狂うわ。
敵将討ち取った。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。
ほう、わらわに抗おうとな。
やらなきゃダメなんだ。
おのれ、
おのれ。
やらなきゃ。
いまいましや。わらわに手向かうか。残らず返り討ちにしてくれよ。出会え、我がしもべたちよ。
やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。
気負ったな。ここから先へは進めませんぞ。
やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。
わしが一つ揉んでやろう。
やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。
そちは目障りじゃ。得意ね。嫌じゃ。
やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。
人の子らも
やらなきゃダメなんだ。
ないぞ。わらわが召してくれるわ。
やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。
あなた口もしや。わらわが
ダメなんだ。
またも破れるとは。
やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。 俺が真の三国無双か。
せいぜいあがくがいい。
やらなきゃダメなんだ。
It's not confirmed that this game is coming to PC. Really, I made a video about it a couple days ago. Most likely it's just going to be this version I'm playing right now, which is the Switch version with all the DLC included for like $40. I'd be shocked if it's coming to PC because they have not done that many legacy ports. Mostly just the latest installments. This game definitely deserves it. It deserves to run at 60 FPS. At the same time, this game is already super accessible. It's on so many platforms. At the same time, they could be planning something Orochi-wise. I don't know what they could be. On second thought, there's like, I can't make another Orochi game right now. It's logistically impossible to make one, because they have too many clones in DW9 and Samurai 4. Samurai 5, I mean. Kind of wrote themselves to a corner there. But they could be trying to use it as like a filler game. Like their new games are not ready yet. They're gonna use that to buy them some time or something. I don't know. I seriously doubt it's coming to PC. It feels like a pipe dream. But it actually could be happening. I know people will buy this game. This is widely considered to be like one of the best Musou games ever made. Kind of like what they do with Kingdom Hearts 2. They put that game on like literally everything. People consider it to be like The Empire Strikes Back. Like just objectively the best installment. Let's see. I already paid for this, so I'm just playing this right now. I don't know what the hell Koei's doing. It would be nice if it happened, but I have my doubts. I mean, they can't really release the game again on the other consoles. It's like it's already on everything. They would have to do something big like uncap the frame rate, which I don't know if they'll bother to do that. They could just put it on here and say Switch can't run it, so we're not going to do it, sorry.
皆様に調べていただきたいことがございます。